We urge the President and all responsible authorities to reconsider and reject any attempt to offer Zuba any role in the region. Kumasi and the entire Ashanti region deserves better. We call on law enforcement agencies to tighten security around electoral processes in Ashanti region. The era of using violence and fear to undermine democracy must end. The Ashanti region has always been the stronghold of democracy and good governance in Ghana. We will not allow the reckless and lawless behavior of a few individuals to tarnish our democratic credentials. We send a clear message and a strong message as well to the Mahama administration. Ashanti region will not bow to intimidation. The people of Ghana will resist attempts to erode democracy through violence and lawlessness. We urge all well-meaning Ghanaians, civil society organizations, traditional leaders, religious bodies, and the media to speak up against this assault on democracy and demand accountability from the authorities. We refuse to be silent. We refuse to be intimidated. Democracy must prevail.
It is not just about NDC or MPP. It's not about an individual, but it's about all of us. In a country such as Ghana, that we have this reputation because of peace, tranquility, and coexistence, that all over the world, on the globe, they respect us. If this is where they want to take us to, I think all of us have to join this crusade and advocacy against these dysfunctional behaviors. That somebody has to win an election. If not, there should be mayhem. We have mature men, we can transport them to Ashanti region. We are a peace-loving people. It's not that we are being controlled by cowardice, but we think countries such as Ghana must be a country that other African countries can emulate our peaceful nature. But of course, there's a natural inertia that everybody should understand, that self-defense is part of creation. We are not going to fight the NDC. We are calling them to put an end to these primitive, outmoded behaviors where they think macho men are solutions to our problems.
Nakakrenye na special prosecutor Owura Kisi Ejaben ede nsembetu dwa wo chese kane omen foto sanfo no nyafo ken ofori ata eyade a emra ebu abona na se yebeka se nhwehwemu bi ekoso no keta se hye ene proye aforefo ne nsa ho ya ye hwehwe no eno echire no nipa bi ekoto ehye ne fie ya ewon kran ekodosodoso niema se wo mo hwehwehwe niema mu na sansemi ho na edonkum e wo mrahye bedwafie ayensentrofo nhwemu kasetia ese ekwan a aban we pese ode aban dada no emu adwumayefo anase mu mpanifo bi faso no entwa yenti animu yi a wo mo hwe na saa ohaw na wo mo pese wo mo de wo mo famu no wo no mo entwa so ni awogina wo no mo anamu kasa ye deputy minority leader ya wo emrahye bedwafie na wode ensem we sei etudwa wo chese entwa ye kura enu nti ne ho behia se animu yi a penifo ebetwa sa ha yisu Mame Patricia Apiaje say no kan.
We wish to bring to the attention of the general public the rise of an alarming trend where political witch hunt in the form of orchestrated harassment of former government officials, threats, targeted attacks, and state-sponsored aggression and intimidation are being used as tools to settle political scores. Ghana's political climate is undergoing a perilous shift, and we will not tolerate the erosion of our democracy.
Eto akasenso yeda so ewo Owura Ken ofori ata ne nsem emu na to anipa bi koto ehye ne fie na omokoye hwehwemu ni ade wo honom no ayeno na emrahye bedwafo ye wo man yi emrahye bedwafie afenu ni nyina akasa kye wo no adwen ede afa ho
to Ken ofori ata. The special prosecutor has spoken. He says he extended an invitation. The special prosecutor has spoken. He says he extended an invitation to Ken Ofori-Atta, and his lawyers offered to present themselves for questioning. And he said, no, lawyers are not the subject of the investigation. So he wants to talk to Ken Ofori-Atta himself. Could this be the reason why agents of our state security apparatus stormed his home? Mr. Speaker, let me remark that when Honorable John Jinapor's home was stormed, there was no prior invitation extended to him by any state security agency mandated to investigate any matter. Likewise, the home of Dominic Ayene, the current Attorney General, was stormed, equally stormed. What was his crime? His crime was that he only wrote a legal opinion. A legal opinion. These are the facts we should compare and contrast.
Mr. Speaker, indeed, the OSP wrote to him on the 24th of January. In fact, this is the first letter that he received from the OSP. Mr. Speaker, in the said letter, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta instructed his lawyers to respond to let the OSP know that indeed he was out of the jurisdiction seeking medical treatment. Mr. Speaker, what happened yesterday by state security operatives must be condemned by all of us. Honorable John Jinapor has narrated his own ordeal, but the records of this House will confirm that when that happened, Right Honorable Speaker DAAKYE condemned that act. If indeed something had happened yesterday, it does not mean that we should continue today. Mr. Speaker, I've heard human rights activists, respected lawyers for that matter, quote Article 18 of the Constitution to say that that is not applicable in this case. Mr. Speaker, I beg to submit that that was a wrong appreciation of the law. Military men led by Mr. Richard Japa unlawfully entered the premises of Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, searched his rooms.
If you claim that somebody has improperly searched your house or your property, you go to court. You go to court for the courts to declare that your property rights have been violated, that your dignity has been violated, and the courts are there to provide you that service of taking a decision as to whether or not indeed your rights have been violated. In court, the two sides will be there and they will all be heard. But if you choose to use a political platform like this one, Parliament, to raise matters that, properly speaking, are the business of courts, you will receive political responses. And that is what I see happening here. Mr. Speaker, as for me, what I hear being said here is that there is a certain class called the political class, and that political class must take care of each other. And what I hear being said in this chamber is that taking care of each other means that we should not hold each other accountable. Mr. Speaker, I have always contended that it will be the most dangerous thing that will happen to the democracy of this country if a certain group called the political class are allowed to conspire to protect each other. And several times a call on members of the political class not to do this to each other. The reason why the voters go and vote for one political party as against the other is so that they will come and hold each other accountable. The day that we stop holding each other accountable, that will be the day the electorate will lose confidence in this democracy. And when they lose confidence,
Ghana Mampeni John Dramani Mahama de ato edwa se akane no afofida eye Independence Day no se dru ho no mu asa ye fi amantam ahodo mu akomantam foforo mu afibia no sanhye na abandada de bai no they say no oyi afri ho no mu na wahwe se Independence Day bia celebration no ye beye e wo Jubilee House na sansem yi na ITV kase ene Ghana de hye bi atwetwe nkomofa ho na sei na wono mu ekae Amanebo efri abankesie mu ebeto edwa enrada ekire se de nanka bandada ne breso no edru afofida ebra ye shefa na ye de kai omeyi ye fa ahudie eye 6 March na nanka afibia no ye de ko amantam ahodo no ne no na omempani Mahama Breiso wo kire se sanhyehe ni nyina eyade a watwamu esanse wo hu ne se emfa die bia emre wo meyi na emom no ede eka na ebre omeyi Oswafo a woto enkra efri abankesiem eyo nunyamfo Felix kwachi ofosu ono no de nsem yi eto nsentrofo anim enrada ewo nkran na wosa ensem yi hu no na ITV kase ye tisi monten so na ye ne adehye ya ewo kaso etwetwe nkomo ebisa wo adwen kire efa sa ensem yi hu seyi na won mu bi ekaaye.
It's good because so the bar have to save more money. Say transfer of gadgets and other things, it will reduce the cost. So celebrating in Accra is okay. There will be no any high cost for the government again. That is what I have to say as I do. Yeah, no, that is the only thing which will reduce the cost. So apart from that, I don't see anything wrong with that.
So maybe I this year, the sick seminar and for you to Tina or Yenes, Senebaya, this year, the sick seminar, Shemuna, sick seminar, I am fine, I am come. And San next year, so very extended. And yes, you can also very extended. Yeah, now I understand. I am first. But I see idea. Send you sick sem, I say I am Pasabis and me for so say this time around on capital also. Onye no senior officer oye na na si ade se sika sem ekoyi a onye no senior ye person na kola na ma me no na omu 6 March parade na ye mu fe no omu so hwe ba this ade ye yina ye tutum se sika sem ekoyi nti no oye ne sa so a be cut course na next year wa hwe mu na we bio
Independence Square na de ani me hu ne se Yenya independent in Ghana Penefo. Omu ye baby ya from Independence Square. In the youngest of year ban say ye had a cook massy, ye had a quackaswa, ye had a go buru. Not just a young cry your wage in action and task. So Coban is just Independence Square away and for Subia no. And the members of Padova every year be when you Independence Square. Near young Quayanko. I had a regions of Prana. Accident involved for Grand and Yasman Katua. The way our crown was had no money in our submission. And the car be way up on also.
Being the ex-president and the current president, they all have their own idea. When you are Central, what they corrections. But I'm going to imagine there, we'll keep to. My former president here says better. Why am I saying that?
Aha ena brabema kwan na kase de beso ITV so ena no pay no yede ni nyina besie medin de afia befi Janet Ambitious e de agokansie mu nsem eto aso.